Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to another episode of the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Eric Rodriguez, here every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific time, 11 p.m. Eastern time. Here to talk about just basically everything that you love to watch between the squared circle, professional wrestling. What's not to love about professional wrestling? It's, at the same time, it could be so violent, it could be so violent, but at the same time, as a fan, it can bring back nostalgic feelings that a lot of times that you kind of walk through the day, you smell a particular smell, and you're like, "Oh, smells pretty good." Like, what I mean? For me, I know that's where professional wrestling lies, and I know a lot of you guys that are watching tonight have that same feeling as well. Other than that, why have you stumbled upon this podcast? If not, if you're new wrestling fans, you stumbled upon the right podcast because we talk about news, we talk about wrestling promotions like AEW, WWE, the GCW, New Japan Professional Wrestling, the CMLL, Ring of Honor, TNA. Basically, you get all your know-how on this podcast. So, welcome, welcome. Hope you guys had an amazing weekend. First Sunday of the NFL season. A lot of storylines. I'm a wrestling fan. No, let me rephrase that. I'm a wrestling dork. So, storylines for me, I feel like outweigh like outcomes and fantasy points and stuff like that because I'm a wrestling fan. You know what I mean? So you hear a lot of these storylines you see on Monday Night Raw, on Friday Night SmackDown, NXT, AEW, and you're like, dude, like, how is Aaron Rodgers gonna do in his first season back with the Jets before the whole injury after the first series? It was pretty bad. What's gonna happen with Patrick Mahomes fighting for that three-peat? There's so many storylines within the WWE, much like there's so many storylines within the NFL, and I'm like, oh my god, that'd be so kind of crazy. That'd be kind of crazy. But all in all, love the NFL, love wrestling. So yeah, let's dig on into it. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the GSMC Wrestling Laureate podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We have a great show for you today on tap. We have our WWE Smackdown review. We have our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. And then we're going to talk about Vince McMahon's new Netflix docuseries. It's a 6-episode series, I believe. And it's going to talk about, when he was younger, all the turmoil in between, with him basically like kind of jumping from egomaniac to a businessman. And eventually, kind of where you're seeing him now in, late 2022, early 2024, being, kind of held up with accusations and, allegations and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about, we're going to preview the series, which is going to air September 25th. We're going to preview that. And then we're also going to talk about our AEW All Out results and predictions. And then in our fifth and final segment, we're going to talk about this fan that's been petitioning that AEW was way too violent. AEW All Out was way too violent, and the company, in general, is violent as hell. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that as well. But before we do any of that, I want to remind you guys to hit up the tips and donations link at the gsmcpodcast.net. Also hit up that super chat. 1,010%, whether if you have a burning question or just something you've been dying to get off your chest. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we are 1,010% committed and hearing your guys' thoughts. We love it. We prelude to it. We love it. 1,010%. Make sure your voice is part of the show. Also, keep the conversation lively. Also, let's keep this party going. Don't be shy. Drop those thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure your comment, questions, or concerns gets noticed on the show, why not use that super chat box? It's that $ below the chat box. So you can basically, it's guaranteed to be featured on the show. Plus, it's an absolutely great way to support our channel. 1,010%. Always needs you guys. Your super chats keeps us keeps the lights on in terms of all of our sports podcasts, from wrestling to football to baseball to basketball. And 1,010%. We thank you guys. We thank you guys every single night. We are absolutely 1,010% super grateful for each and every one of you guys that follow us here and watch us on daily on the GSMC Sports Network. Your support makes all the difference. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's keep the party going. Hit up those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome. And together we will make this show bigger, better, and stronger than ever. And of course, if the super chat thing is not your thing, You can always hit up the tips and donations link at the gsmcpodcast.net. Shoot me your comments, questions, and concerns. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Here at the GSMC Sports Network, we do love a lot of peace, love, and positivity 1,010% of the time. But all in all, criticisms, feedback is a gift. Feedback is a gift that, Superman punched out. Like and subscribe button to the show and follow the show, follow the network. And I guarantee, give the Eric Rodriguez guarantee that you will never, ever regret, being a part of such an amazing sports network that it's beneficial for both of us. So let's help each other out. Let's help each other out. All right, so we're going to talk about our first segment. We have our WWE Smackdown review. All in all, the final Smackdown on Fox. I thought it was great. All in all, I thought it was a pretty good episode. It was fitting to kind of have, a lot of big spots. There was a couple of big spots. Obviously, I thought there was going to be a little more star power, but all in all, it was great. It was, Fox has been so kind to WWE through the Thunderdome era, COVID. I can imagine when Fox signed a deal with WWE, they're expecting you know, a lot, more of like a beneficial, like business wise. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't get that. I'm not saying that they didn't get that. But at the same time, when the pandemic hit and nobody was allowed to attend any WWE events, kind of broadcasting. I know a lot of the WWE universe was like, you know what? They're not letting fans in because of COVID because they don't want, you got to have precautions you got to be safe. You get social distancing. You got to, kind of preserve the lives of everyone in society. And it was, Fox. I give a lot of respect to Fox because, you turn on the clicker every Friday night, you're expecting, Fox, SmackDown, WWE is going to be live on Fox. And then, you look at something that, there's no fans. I think fans 1,010% make all of it. I feel like maybe that's the reason why they kind of alluded to the Thunderdome when he kind of had the face screens and all of that, which is kind of funny, I thought it was great. I thought it was great. Right now WWE SmackDown and Raw are both going to be on the USA Network. So a lot of good things in the future with SmackDown. First and foremost, we have Cody Rhodes invite Solo Sikoa to come out in the middle of the ring. Already knows what's going to come. He's like, you know what? If you're going to come out here and attack me, why not do it to me face to face? Solo Sikoa came out and he said, and he had the nerve. He had the nerve to go ahead and say, if it wasn't for Roman Reigns, I would have won that match. When all reality, he probably would have. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not that great. Like, Solo Sikoa, he's not that great of a superstar. I feel like WWE pushed him way too fast. I feel for Solo. I do. I do. I do. I do. Also, Jacob Fatu, the way Cody Rhodes was kind of rubbing him the wrong way. But, trying to drive a wedge between the bloodline. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was awesome as hell. And, but all in all, you saw Jacob Fatu kind of surrender to his tribal chief. Well, his tribal chief, Solo Sikoa. Once again, you kind of saw Solo Sikoa kind of put Jacob Fatu down. He was in that spot where, even the fans love Jacob Fatu. Like where he came from, he's in and what you kind of see him being portrayed on SmackDown right now, his high flying abilities, the way he's, just the way he controls the match within a match, the way he's able to, kind of bring the fans in, but at the same time, kind of bring in, different WWE personnel to be like, we should push this guy. Because essentially that's what WWE superstars are doing. Of course, you go out there, you find out your spots, you find out your storylines, and you go out there and you do your damn job. But once again, you could still make yourself shine. It's not an indictment saying that Jacob Fatu just follow the rules. Don't shine. But I could see why overall WWE didn't want to debut Jacob Fatu too fast because of they were trying to build up Solo Sikoa and they didn't want him to outshine him. But I feel that I think it's already kind of taken its toll. I feel like Solo Sikoa right now and kind of forever. He's kind of a joke. I got to be honest, he's kind of a joke. I can't take Solo Sikoa serious. every single time I hear his music come, like, and then he comes out, and then like, I'm like, dude, like, I can't take him seriously. I'm sorry. Like, and I like it once again. I do like Solo Sikoa, and I feel like he's a great superstar. I loved him in NXT. I thought it was pretty dope, and I loved his debut, and I loved him as Roman Reigns' enforcer. But I don't know. I just think something's got to give, and I don't think it's working out. I'm sorry. I don't really think it's, this whole Solo Sokoa thing is, it's not a right fit to the puzzle piece that's missing the pieces. You know what I mean? So, once again, you had, a nice confrontation between Cody Rhodes and, Solo Sikoa, who are going to fight on the season premiere of WWE Smackdown next Friday, on Friday the 13th. Ooh, Monster Day. Of course, and anybody who's a horror movie slasher kind of person, I'm there with you, 1010%. I was a Jason number one, number two, Michael Myers, number three. I loved Freddy Krueger. I absolutely love 1010% Freddy Krueger. I thought, he was kind of like that in your face. But we're gonna see a steel cage match next week, so it should be pretty awesome. Should be pretty awesome. Next, we have Bayley take on Tiffany Stratton. Bayley, ultimately, capitalize on the mishap that you saw between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton, distracting the referee while Bayley was able to get the 1, 2, 3. This union, this newly formed alliance between Mrs. Money in the Bank and the WWE Women's Champion, it's obviously it's going to come in fruition pretty quick. I don't really see this storyline going further than Bad Blood. I would eventually, maybe within the next couple of weeks on SmackDown, maybe finally these people, not these people, these two women kind of go at it. For me, Tiffany Stratton is an amazing superstar. I feel like she's definitely a future WWE Women's Champion. Nia Jax, as dominant as she is, for the storyline, it kind of makes sense. I feel like something's got to give. I want to see Tiffany Stratton kind of use that unpredictability, that essence of surprise, and come out and use that Money in the Bank. But at the same time, I want to see, next week or next 2 weeks of SmackDown, I want to see Tiffany Stratton step it up. I want to see her look Nia Jax dead in the eye and be like, you know what, Nia? I'm not going to attack you. I want to face you one-on-one, no surprises, and find, may the better woman win. And ultimately, I feel like that's a coin flip match. A lot of people think that Nia Jax would get the dub, but I just don't see Tiffany Stratton of course, maybe there's a surprise element, like I was mentioning before, that Tiffany Stratton might cash in on Nia Jax, but as of right now, I don't really see any benefits of doing that. I think she challenges her to a match, like, straight up. And I don't know. I feel like it'd be better. I feel like it'd be better for her overall in her career to kind of be promoted by WWE, to kind of knock off a face like Nia Jax. It's I feel like that would be great. I feel like that'd be great for her character, her career, and just her future and stuff like that. So maybe that could be it. I don't see Nia Jax holding the title for way too long. I don't. I honestly don't. And it sucks because, she's been with the company for such a long time. And I don't want to say the only reason why she still has a job with WWE is because of her family name. I'm not saying that. Overall, I do feel like she puts on good matches. I do feel like she puts others over inside the ring. And but I don't know. I just want to see this make sense. I just want to see the storyline make sense, because I feel like WWE has built too much, built too much over it. All right, so next we have Giovanni Vinci against Apollo Crews. Not really much here. A lot of, WWE backstage, creative hating how this thing kind of went down with Giovanni Vinci. But, I really don't know how to make of this. I love Giovanni Vinci. I thought he was great in Imperium. Apollo Crews, I'm a huge Apollo Crews fan. But I don't know. It just seemed, all the hype for nothing, basically. All the hype. Next, we have a triple threat match between Kevin Owens and Austin Theory, Grayson Waller. Kevin Owens was kind of poking the bear a little bit in between Theory and Waller, saying that, basically, if it comes one-on-one, you guys cannot trust each other. It's not like I'm the only guy that's stabbing people in the back. And if you do have the chance to do it, you're going to do it. And that's something you saw between Grayson Waller and, of course, Austin Theory. And it was, and after the match, you saw Kevin Owens pick up the dub, but he was attacked by Austin Theory and Grayson Waller at the same time. So I thought it was kind of crazy. Next, we see a promo between, the LA Knight comes out, starts talking about how he's one of the hottest. WWE United States Champion Carmelo Hayes comes out, of course, confronts Knight. Then he had Andrade come out, confronts both of them. And now we're going to have a match next week on the first episode of, WWE Smackdown on the USA Network. We're going to have the final, it's tied 2-2. The winner gets a shot at LA Knight at Bad Blood. So it just seems, just seems kind of fitting. Seems kind of fitting. Chelsea Green took on Mi Chin. Piper Niven, of course, got in the way. Chelsea Green is a Canadian, she's of Canadian descent. So she picked up the victory. I thought that was kind of cool. Once again, WWE kind of showing the true colors in terms of letting the home team win. Letting the home team win. In the finale, we saw DIY and the Street Profits take on the Bloodline. The Bloodline, at first, it looked like a tornado tag team match. Jacob Fatu just looks so damn impressive. Like I love this Bloodline storyline, but Jacob Fatu is he's on a whole nother level. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I feel like WWE kind of made the wrong decision in pushing Solo Sikoa to kind of be this new young Bloodline kind of enforcer, kind of this leader. But Jacob Fatu just continues to overshine Solo Sikoa on a day on a week to week basis. That's that's crazy. But you can't really blame Solo Sikoa. You know, at the same time, you're like, what could you do? As a wrestling fan, for me, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy into it. Solo Sikoa is the new quote unquote young tribal chief, but I'm not buying into it. Jacob Fatu is just so freaking special. Sorry, excuse me. Just so freaking special. Oh my God. He's definitely one of the most talented wrestlers on WWE SmackDown, and he could very much be a heavyweight or a main eventer. And that just comes into so many shocks because a lot of people think, oh, no, it's Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa is the tribal chief. What are you talking about? I don't believe it. I think he's a fraud. I don't think he's fit to wear that crown. Jacob Fatu obviously outshines him on a week to week, month to month, year to year, day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute, second to second basis. I'm just kidding. No, that was a little too rough. I'm sorry, Solo, if you're listening to this. Now you are, but I'm just kidding. But I don't know. I just feel like Jacob Fatu is I don't know. He's very special, very special. All right, guys. So, hey, do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our WWE Monday Night Raw preview. Obviously, it's airing right now on the USA Network. I have it pre-recorded right now. Can't wait to watch it. So, grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 25 seconds. So, hey, stay tuned.